This is a download from Channel 4. To find out more, go to channel4radio.com.
Previously on Lost.
2 players, 2 sides. One is light, one is dark. Do you want to know a secret? What if everything that happened here happened for a reason?
We can't live together. We're gonna die alone.
I thought I heard whispering.
We're not the only people on this island, and we all know it.
We have only 3 choices. Run, hide, or die.
Do you think we're being punished?
Every 108 minutes, the button must be pushed.
Guys, where are we?
Hello, this is Ian Lee. We're down the hatch, and this is the place for UK fans of Lost to get a blow-by-blow account of the very latest Channel 4 and E4 episodes. Each week we'll delve into the mystery of the Lost Island, analyse the latest storylines, and try to work out what the heck is actually going on. Plus, we'll give you an exclusive preview of next week's episode. We want you to get involved as well, to contribute your Lost theories and understanding of what the Islanders are going through, as together we search for the ultimate Lost theory. So whether you're a geek, a conspiracy theorist, or a downright obsessive, we say to you, welcome to UK Lost from Channel 4 Radio. OK, the first thing that we have to do is introduce our panel of Lost fans. We have Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Hello, Ian. How you doing?
Very well. Your favourite Lost character?
I think it's got to be Saeed. He seems to actually have reason for his turmoil, and he's intelligent rather than emotional.
And he's buff, eh?
He's pretty harsh.
You love it. We've got Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Ian. How's it going?
Yeah, all right. Your favourite Lost character?
It's got to be Kate, really.
She's got no hips, though. She's just very straight, like a tree. We've got Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hiya.
Favourite Lost character?
Mr. Eco.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And Janine.
Hi.
Who's your favourite?
At the moment, it's Sawyer. He's a bit cheeky. At the same time, you never know when he's going to flip and be a bit aggressive, but he's an interesting character.
You're all wrong. The best character, of course, is Locke. Now, it's true. Now, we've just watched episode 7, The Other 48 Days, and it's a brilliant episode, action-packed all the way through. Let's have a quick recap about what happened. The episode opens with the tail end of Flight 815 crashing into the sea. There's chaos, pretty much like the very first episode of Season 1. We see some familiar faces, including Mr. Echo, Tom's favourite, who appears to be a very nice guy, calm in the face of devastation, and emerges as some sort of hero in some respects.
Would you look after the children? There's something I have to do.
He helps the children, and we see a familiar teddy bear. We recognise Ana Lucia, who saves one of the kids.
Save that girl's life. You a doctor?
No.
Goodwin runs out of the forest, shouting for help, as finally we meet Bernard, Rose's husband, stuck up a tree. Bernard is saved, and the tailies discover the horrifying fact they are very lost indeed.
We were flying for 2 hours in the wrong direction. They don't know where to look.
Mr. Echo gets attacked at night and kills one of the others with a rock. He falls silent and turns a bit scary from then on. 3 other people go missing, and Ana Lucia emerges as a bit of a leader. Then the camp is attacked and more people are taken, including the kids.
The kids! They took the cat!
As Ana Lucia searches the body of one of the attackers, she finds a list.
Here are the names of every single person they took. All 9 of them. These people were here before us.
We learn that the others are compiling a hit list of the good and the strong to join their gang. Nathan is singled out and accused of being a spy from the others, as he's spending a lot of time away from the group, and nobody remembers him being on the plane. Ana Lucia single-handedly digs a huge hole and throws Nathan in.
If he really were one of them, why would he still be here?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Goodwin eventually lets him out, but kills him, and we realise that Nathan was in fact innocent. The group then discover a door hidden in the undergrowth.
What is this place?
Some sort of bunker.
Inside, we see a new Dharma Initiative symbol. If you haven't heard about Dharma, then keep listening, we'll cover that later. They find a glass eye, a holy Bible, and a radio. Goodwin has a heart-to-heart with Ana Lucia and reveals that he wasn't on the plane. He is, in fact, one of the others, and after a struggle, Ana Lucia impales him on a spike. Bernard hears a distress call on the radio.
Repeat your transmission, please.
Hello? We're survivors of the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Please copy.
We're the survivors of Flight 815.
And then the rains come down. The mysterious whispers reappear, and the opposite ends of Flight 815 meet to deadly consequences as Shannon gets shot. It's one of the more exciting ones. Fair play, Lost. There are a couple that are a bit fat, a little bit lazy. Let's be honest.
You could go as far as calling them fillers. In fact,
yeah, there are a couple of fillers.
I like the fact that we took a whole season to get those 48 days on the other side of the island, and we get the whole 48 days in one episode. In this case,
it's a slightly longer episode, isn't it? I think.
It seemed longer.
I think it's like 4 or 5 minutes longer. How geeky is that for me? To actually say,
fairly geeky.
Was it one of the lost numbers longer?
Yeah, probably.
Four.
Probably. They've got a list. The others have a list. Now, do you think they had this list before the plane crashed, or is it a list that they've made up since the plane crashed and they've worked out who they want?
I reckon they had it before the plane crashed, and it was a controlled explosion that would separate the front and the back of the plane, so they knew that a certain part of the passengers went up on one side of the island, another certain part would end up on the other side of the island, and then they could pick them off specifically.
How do you do a controlled explosion?
Just in the middle of the plane.
In a plane crash.
In the middle of the plane, at a certain time, they'd remote control it
and
off.
You go, right, you're going to live, you're going to die. It's always to pick holes in your theory there.
Well, hang on a minute, but I kind of go along with this because they do have polar bears on the island, so it would seem that anything could happen. But you're not convinced, Tom, that there's been a controlled explosion?
Just the sheer physics of it. How does that work?
I don't know, it's some sort of explosion in the middle of the plane, but the front half go off on that side of the island,
yeah,
back half in that side, and they take off like the key characters that they want to go and take onto the life extension project or whatever, and then pit the remaining survivors against each other.
So is Oceanic Air controlled by the Hanser Foundation?
Yeah.
I would say so, absolutely.
Why does it even have to be that? Why don't they just gas all the people in the plane, land it somewhere?
Tom, don't get angry, man. Come on,
I'm sorry.
Can I just jump in here and say that
yes.
the Hanso Foundation must be all-powerful. If you've seen Mission Impossible 3, in the credits, there is a credit to the Hanso Foundation.
Is that true?
Absolutely true.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So why wouldn't they own Oceanic Air and also be able to blow up the certain sections?
Maybe Mission Impossible 3 has something to do with the island.
There's your theory.
It's all owned by Tom Cruise and his tiny ways. It's all to do with Scientologists. Don't diss the Scientologists; they're very litigious. Okay, so the other hatch. It's not even a hatch, really. They found, is it? The others. It's just kind of a little bit of a slightly disappointing bunker.
I think they referred to it as a storage bunker.
There was electricity though, wasn't there?
There was.
Turn on some
very
lights.
old electricity rig though, compared to the other bunker.
Interesting what you said about the quarantine on the inside. So maybe there was people trapped in there that were told that they couldn't go outside because it was bad.
That would imply that the outside is the thing that they. What are they quarantined from? Any ideas on that?
I don't know. You know how they found a glass eye though in that bunker. A lot of people have been talking about how Dr. Marvin Candle, who was on the orientation video in episode 3,
know his name. I love it.
He seems to not be able to use one of his arms, and he also has a glass eye.
Okay.
Oh, does
there's
he?
been a lot of talk about this.
I'd missed that. I need to go back and look. So that's possibly something to do with him and the Bible, of course, that Echo's picked up.
Yeah.
Which is. There's nothing else they find in there, is there? It's just and the radio. The radio. Okay, now here we go. One of my favourite bits. Every Lost episode has got a bit that makes me either cry like a girl, or a bit that makes the hairs on my neck stand up. And the bit where Bernard is on the radio, talking, and he gets a voice. Who hasn't worked out who he's talking to?
That's a hands down from everyone.
So everyone knows, obviously, that it would be Boone that he's found, isn't it? And it's the bit where Boone dies shortly after that. That's brilliant, isn't it?
I love the link.
It is.
I think it's great, that crossover.
I think that's
really
what Lost
nice.
does really well. The kind of Quentin Tarantino, these different stories all interconnecting.
Because I don't know if you guys found the same thing, but in season 1 I just found it impossible to figure out how long between each episode, how much time had elapsed. So to find that it was only 48 days, it's quite incredible because so much seemed to happen.
You think that they've been there for months, but it is every episode is kind of a day, 2 days, sort of pretty much. Although their hair grows at an odd Right.
Absolutely.
Or doesn't.
Jack's flashback in series 2. What the hell has happened? What was that wig he was wearing? That was
Good
that
on
was
it,
bad.
good on it.
That was a bad sign. So Boone and Shannon are both dead. Is there anything in that, the fact that those two have gone?
I'm thinking the whole black-white biblical thing's become more and more obvious in this episode to me. And if you think about the Boone and Shannon incestuous relationship thing, and it's kind of like good and evil. If they're picking off the good, then their incestuous relationship was construed in that way as evil. So therefore, they've been bumped off.
That's quite deep.
I wasn't a fan of Boone. I know that was season 1.
Didn't like his eyebrows.
No, I thought he was too sincere as well.
Yeah.
So is there some kind of thing in this yin and yang, this kind of the black and white thing? Isn't there an episode where Locke is playing... Is he playing checkers with Walt, or is he playing backgammon at some point?
I think it's backgammon.
It's backgammon, isn't it? And he says something about black and white, good and evil, and
he explains the rules of backgammon to Walt, and then says, Walt, do you want to know a secret? Which never gets explained, But
I think the secret was that he had no use of his legs before the crash.
Do you think he told that to Walt?
I think so.
Really?
I think Walt knew already. I think Walt had some psychic abilities.
Well, the whole Walt thing, I was going to mention that later, but we might as well bring it up now. He appears... I mean, he appeared in episode 6, didn't he? Was it 6 when he's warning Shannon to keep quiet or something?
Wet with water.
Don't push the button, I think it was forwards.
Yeah, don't push the button.
Oh, he's speaking backwards, is he?
Yeah.
then?
Yeah.
And it translates as don't push the button.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah, very strange. So
Even though Shannon has never ever done anything like push the button or help out on the island
and she's
at
dead
all.
now.
I don't think she even went into the bunker either.
No, I don't think
this
she
is
ever
what I don't
exerted
get. Is
any effort.
there's no communication between the people. Not everyone seems to be aware that there's a bunker, for goodness sakes.
Could that be a reason why she's dead? The fact that she got that information now?
Could be.
You're saying because she knows too much,
not to push the button,
she had to die.
Yeah.
I wonder why she was singled out as the person to get the Walt messages, because until Saeed saw her Walt that once, she was the only one getting the messages, and she seems to be sort of the dimmest out of everyone.
Well, is it because she was going to get shot? I mean, there's one of the theories I've got is that somehow Walt is kind of controlling the whole situation, that he's rigged up to a mind machine that's driving the island. It makes sense to me. You've never heard of a mind machine driving an
I was
island?
just trying to picture one.
It would have
Every
probes.
island has one.
Every island should have one. And maybe he steps in at moments when people he likes are going to get it. But quickly going off on a tangent, where the hell is Desmond?
Yeah.
Irritating Desmond. Oh, brother! Oh, brother! I didn't like him. He's not come back, is he?
I don't know, he gets very scared though.
Failed, didn't he?
Bottled it, totally bottled it. Okay, more in a minute. This is UK Lost from Channel 4 Radio, and every week we're giving you the chance to get into the UK Lost draw to win a whole bunker load of very special Lost prizes, some of them signed by the cast. And by entering, you could also win a Lost T-shirt and cap. So, to be one of 3 proud owners of a very lovely Lost T-shirt and cap this week, just answer the following question. What was the flight number that the Lost characters were on? Is it A, 811, B, 815, or C, 108? Call 09011 111 080, leaving your answer, name and daytime telephone number. Calls cost 25p per minute. Or you can text LOST and your answer to 83188, and your text will also cost you 25p. This is UK Lost from Channel 4 Radio.
Since the dawn of time, man has been curious, imagining all that is possible. The Hanzo Foundation, reaching out to a better tomorrow. Discover the experience for yourself. Go to thehanzofoundation.org.
Every week on UK Lost, we'll be unearthing the best theories created by Lost fans around the world. With the help of the panel, we'll rate all new theories marks out of 10 for creativity and plausibility and add them to our leaderboard. Now, I found this on the internet, surprisingly. Jump in if you think this makes sense or sounds like rubbish. This is by someone called Phone Girl. Oh dear. I believe it's a twisted experiment to see how quickly humans are driven to extremes, just like Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies wasn't an experiment, was it? It was... Anyway, that's by the by. The Hanzo Foundation funded the hatch. By having the hatch, they know that human curiosity will lead them there. Already, I'm suspecting this is complete guff. Desmond is a scientist... Oh, brother. Which is why he left when they found it, to see if they will push the button. Through that, it will show humans' fear of the unknown.
I think Desmond was the one looking absolutely terrified.
Desmond was, wasn't he?
I think he, hook, line and sinker with Desmond. He totally believed what was going on.
Do we believe? Well, let's talk about Desmond briefly. He's in the first few episodes, then he's kind of disappeared. But he's an odd character, isn't he? He's quite cocky in the flashbacks, but on the island, he's a bit of a bottler.
I know. He's a very strange. Yeah, definitely a very strange character. He tends to, he filled Jack in on what he had to do, told him where the film was, and then just,
I think he'd been cooped up there, that one by himself, slightly cracking up.
Maybe he believed all the quarantine thing. And finally, someone comes down and they're all right, and he's right.
Do you believe Desmond's story that he crashed a boat and he was rescued by this guy, and then they ended up living together in a hatch?
I think there's lots of half truths there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe
he was
that
training
in a
for
minute.
something, wasn't he? When he met Jack, he was clearly training to go on this island.
But he was going. He was, wasn't he doing like a round the world boat race thing?
I think that's his cover story.
I think you're right. I think there's more to it than meets the
Okay.
eye.
Anyway, phone girl goes on. The end of this kind of makes sense, I think. The scientists have secretly been following people for most of their lives, so they know their fears and regrets.
Well, I like that one.
I like that bit. I kind of get the idea they've been followed a bit. Has anyone else spotted? There's a lot to do with parents in it as well. A lot of the flashbacks are to do with parents.
Who have sort of not done a great job at parenting, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole Jack thing and his alcoholic dad. There's Son, the beautiful son, and her weird, violent dad. There's Locke, obviously, with his dad. So
there's Walt.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Michael. They had a very twisted relationship, didn't they?
It seems that they all kind of react to, how they've been treated in their flashbacks. They react that way on the island, and they kind of get tested.
It's quite an American thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, sins of the father and all that.
I think another interesting thing is that we've started to see their back stories crossing over.
Yes, that's brilliant. That's very exciting when you spot a little bit of a crossover there. Okay, let's go on. Hatch Pundit, the buckyball theory. This is a long one, and I think it's all nonsense, so just stop me at any time. And these are all from the internet. These are genuine theories that people have posted. They were pulled inside their own pocket universe. A buckyball.
Right, yeah.
Stop you there. Just like to stop you there.
Just absolute.
Come on, Tom, let's hear it.
What is a buckyball?
Well, it's a hollow cage-like molecule made of carbon atoms. Have you never heard of them?
Yeah, sorry, Mark.
Named in honour of Buckminster Fuller, a designer of the geodesic dome that resembles the Get out of here!
Hatch Pundit.
Let's give that no more time at all. Oh, here's at last a punny name. Dharma Chameleon says the nuclear bomb theory. I think the island is part of the Marshall Islands in the South Pacific, where the US did nuclear bomb testing after World War II. This explains the army bunker, the old US Army knife, the sickness Desmond speaks of is radiation poisoning. And there we go. It's all right until we get here.
Yeah.
And some kind of alien civilization is using the island for testing, and the others are alien abductees that are sort of being forced to help out their alien experimenters.
Started so well, it really did. I had real hope for this one.
It was almost plausible.
Well, let's go a bit at a time. An island where they did nuclear bomb testing. Well, it's kind of possible because Saeed says that it's strong enough to be a nuclear bunker.
Yeah, and the quarantine thing.
But is it? It's not an army bunker, is it? There's no signs in the bunkers that they're to do with the army. It appears to be a private business.
All Dharma, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think the army is definitely involved somewhere.
On
the Hanzo website, doesn't like Mr. Hanzo guy, doesn't he do a load of research into weapons and
absolutely
arms dealings?
He was known to have participated in a war or two.
Yeah, so maybe there's a link there.
The Hanzo website is, if you've not been there, I suggest you go and have a look because it's just the hangout of geeks. But it's brilliantly done. You know, it's no. Hey, listen, I'm there every night as well, man. I'm loving.
As long as I'm not there on my own.
No, don't worry. You're there with me and Dharma Chameleon. There is the army knife that Anna gets in this episode 7. Where does she fight? Where did she?
It was in one of the pockets.
Yeah,
of
one of the others. Maybe there was experiments going on, and then the army came in to maybe stop them. Hence, all this leftover memorabilia.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you get the impression from the bunkers that what was happening there has kind of finished, but maybe there are a few stragglers that don't know. It's like the old thing of there are an 80-year-old Japanese man still fighting World War II. No one said actually it's over. You can go home now.
Is it Shaun of the Dead, but in lost form?
Explain that. Wow.
I'm thinking, in Shaun of the Dead, they wake up, they go out, they don't realise everyone's been turned into,
Zombies?
Zombies, that's the fella.
So maybe there's an element of what you were just saying. So people are still fighting a war that they don't realise is over.
No, it's over. I don't know. The worrying thing is, are we ever going to get the answers in this? There's a kind of...
I don't know. I think we're going to get the answers, but I think they'll just answer our answers.
And ask more questions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Apparently, though, we find out why the plane crashed at the end of this season.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hot gossip there.
So, Mark, your theory might be proven at that point.
I don't think we should give Mark any credit.
I like the idea that it was a controlled explosion.
Controlled explosion, Jesus.
Wait and see. Wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's caused Tom to blaspheme. That's how upset he is by the
See the
theory.
look on his face.
Okay, let's quickly just do this last one from Mabawi. And it's the redemption theory. Here's my theory. This is kind of what everyone was saying at the start, and I think this might be a bit old hat now. That and the they're in limbo. Here's my theory. It's probably completely wrong, but whatever. I think they're getting a chance to start over. Somehow the people put onto the plane were all put there on purpose by some sort of rehabilitation unit. Most, if not all of the characters have something that they regret. On the island, they don't know each other. They can choose to confide their past in one another or rebuild a new identity.
Bit of a harsh rehabilitation programme. Yep. I mean, if you're going to pay to go on something like that, then, you don't want people dying, you want to have food.
There's the Priory, isn't there? That'd be sort of
yeah. Although I hear the Priory is harsher in some ways than the Lost Island. Let's quickly go through these and give these marks out of 10. Phone Girl, The Twisted Experiment. What do you reckon?
That's a 7.
That's quite a good one.
Yeah.
That's one of the better ones we've got here.
Okay, a 7. The Buckyball Theory, 0.
Yep.
0.
Just nonsense. Nuclear Bomb Theory is quite good until it mentions aliens.
Yeah, so maybe 4.
4 or 5.
I'm middling at 5.
Let's give it a 5. And the Redemption Theory. It's
a bit boring, but 6.
It's safe.
Part of the
6.
Yeah.
You never know; they might pull that one out of the bag right at the end.
I reckon it's related. It's definitely part of the
some sort of redemption going on there. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's give that a 6. There's something going on. If you'd like your own theory commented on or torn to pieces next week, then you can post them online at channel4.com/lost. This is UK Lost from Channel 4 Radio, and in a moment we'll get back to discussing episode 7 after we remind you of the UK Lost draw. This is your chance to win a bunker full of Lost prizes. 3 people will win Lost baseball hats and T-shirt. 1 will go into the draw to win the big prize bunker of goodies. The question this week is, what was the flight number that the Lost characters were on? What was the flight number that the Lost characters were on? Is it A, 811, B, 815, or is it C, 108? 09011 111 080. Calls cost 25 pence per minute, or you can text LOST and your answer to 83188, and your text will cost you 25 pence. Now, here in the UK Lost Hatch, we know that the writers of our favourite TV show like to slip little clues into the script, and we like to think we have a keen eye for these finer details that a more casual viewer may miss. So each week I'll be calling on my panellists to impress me and you, the listener, with their incredible observations. Now, some might say this is geeky, but we embrace this kind of dedication, and that's why for each episode I will be bestowing upon one panellist the title of Lost Geek of the Week. Now, this being the first week, I'm going to attempt myself to set the standard. So here are my obsessional observations of episode 7. Number 1, of the tail end of the plane, there were 23 survivors. That's one of the numbers. Thank you. Unimpressed so far. 2, when Echo speaks again after the 40 days, he's wearing 2 armbands. One is black, one is white. I've got a better one than that. Stick with me. Number 3, it's quite a long one. I've had to make notes. The new bunker is the Arrow one. The first one found was the Swan. They found Apollo bars in the Swan hatch. Stick with me. Tom, sit back down. In Greek mythology, Apollo was born on an island surrounded by swans. Apollo shot arrows infected with the plague into the Greek encampment during the Trojan War in rage. It ends there a bit suddenly. That's humiliating. Anyway, because it's up to me, I think I'll crown myself this week's biggest Lost Geek. Don't forget to watch episode 8 very closely next week to see if you can out-geek my panellists. All right, after that humiliation, let's get back into episode 7 on UK Lost this week. Don't forget, the exclusive preview of next week's episode is still to come, but let's go back to this week's episode. We've had the backstory of the survivors, the back end of the plane. Now, the Dharma Initiative seems to be getting more and more prominent. We've seen the symbol down the hatch. It's in the other bunker that they found as well, a slightly different version of it. I've been trying to place the technology. What, is it late 60s, or is the computer looks a bit 1981?
It's a bit Commodore 64, isn't it?
There's an element of that, yes.
Sinclair special going on.
I can't quite work out when the island is set.
I think
what about the music?
on the orientation video at the end, I think there is a date It says the 80s.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, and
Is
there
it
was
81?
There was an incident as well.
Oh, the incident.
Oh yes, the incident.
I think the Dharma Initiative is in control. They're part of everything on the island.
It seems like we're seeing them creep up more and more and more, aren't we? And in last season, people were talking about the shark that was swimming around the
No,
raft.
is this true? I've not gone back and looked at this, but the symbol is on the shark somewhere.
Apparently
is it?
so. I also haven't gone back and looked at it.
I
A
have
lot of
gone
people are
back and
talking
looked at
about
it,
So have I.
and we got some pictures of it from the interweb,
the
and
pictures.
but then we got a barrage of emails about how it was faked.
Yeah,
but
this
you know,
wasn't fake.
what's
It was an
the-
unofficial
what's the
thing that the designers had added.
conspiracy?
Yeah, well,
But-
that was an apparent theory. I don't know if that was true or not, but apparently the special effects guys put that in.
But the
That
next
they weren't allowed to.
They weren't allowed to.
Well, just the producers said it wasn't a
It wasn't a scripted.
scripted thing. They just did it as a joke. I
Hey,
suppose.
whoa, hang on. We can't have special effects men playing jokes on us. That's not fair.
messing with our mind.
Yeah. Surely you have to, everything that happens in there, you have to kind of take as the gospel, as it were. It pops up the symbols on but everything down the hatch is branded, isn't it? With
Seemingly
Dharma.
so, yeah.
So right from day one, I think like Ethan Rome's water tanker, that's got a Dharma logo on it.
Really?
The fuselage of the plane. Didn't it?
I missed that.
The fuselage
Oh, I'm
of the
gonna have
plane,
to go back
that's
now.
come up before.
But you know, they were
Definitely.
talking about it in the orientation video. That seemed to be exactly what that whole video was about. This Dharma Initiative, pushing the button, everything that this bunker is set up to achieve.
Right at the beginning of episode 2, episode 1 of season 2, Desmond injects himself with some kind of medicine, which also is branded with Dharma, but also has the numbers on it. If you capture it.
Oh, really?
If you do a screen grab.
Tom, are you one of these people, and don't take this the wrong way, that watches the episode, then goes back and watches it in slow motion and zooms in?
If the internet didn't exist, then I probably would be.
Good lad. No, we appreciate that. That's what this is all about, and that's what makes this so brilliant is that it's not your run-of-the-mill science fiction, whatever. There's so many little clues in there that you do have to keep going back and going. Hang on a second, I hadn't spotted that before.
It adds so much to the show. I mean, I can't really think of any other show that does that.
The Whispers. We get to hear more of the Whispers. Mark, any ideas what that is?
Well, there've been theories that it's all backwards. I don't know, you were saying earlier, Tom, that it's kind of like if you listen to it either backwards or through different channels in your speakers.
I think they've gone quite technical with the old
there's
audio.
kind of like all sorts of different messages.
And people have been splitting up each channel.
Are we getting a bit of 5.1 Dolby Surround?
Yeah,
definitely some of that. Maybe you need to actually buy that kind of equipment to fully experience the lost.
And does everyone hear them? I think just before Shannon gets shot, everyone seems to hear it, don't they? And for the first time, I think it's a group hearing it as opposed to one person.
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't know what they are.
Could it be the whole quarantine thing? Is it them going mental? Is it some sort of machine going back to your mind's pro-mental theory?
Could it be the monster?
The monster, yeah.
The monster can roar and whisper.
Every time there's whispers, something bad happens.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is it every time? I'm trying to think.
Yeah. It's like when it rains.
When it rains,
something bad
definitely
happens. That's another big thing.
Okay.
I don't know if we skimmed on it before, but we were talking about how the survivors at the back end of the plane, their story paralleled the survivors at the front end of the plane, and had very similar personalities leading the group. There was sort of like Mr. Echo is very similar to Locke. The children were taken, Walt was taken, and it was kind of like two exactly parallel scenarios.
Yeah, and there's kind of, I guess, leaders evolving. Anna obviously is the leader of that group, but you're right, Echo is kind of like a Black Locke, it's kind of a mirror image of him. The hunter, good with knives, little bit creepy kind of thing going on. Who else is there? There's the psychologist woman, I can't remember her name. Who's Libby, who snaps that bloke's leg, so she, I guess, could
So there's two doctors.
Yeah. Why?
Mr. Eco's quite religious as well. Locke gets quite, he's all about faith and, trust in the island and all that. And Mr. Eco was mentioning, like, I'll pray for you. And
there's a hint, there's a kind of an ongoing theme of, spirituality, borderline Christian, kind of thing going on, which keeps popping up.
I want to know what happened to the air hostess who just disappeared in that episode.
Yeah. Don't be a member of the cabin crew.
Yeah.
Oh, she goes in episode 6, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Is it episode 6?
No, it was today, episode 7 that we've just watched.
And the pilot goes.
She disappeared.
Is there any members of the crew still left?
None.
No.
I forgot about the poor pilot, bless him. He must have been well excited when he got the gig, and he's only in it for 5 minutes. And he crashes the plane. Why are they taking the kids? Anyone got any theories on that?
Well, again, like Janine mentioned before, the life extension project, and so like they're picking out the young kids that they can mould from the beginning. and get them to take part in the project.
Maybe they're trying to get them out of that sort of situation. If it is an experiment, then, there could be some legal issues.
I don't know if the others are worried about getting sued at all.
Well, American lawyers, they've got eyes everywhere.
They're very litigious. Well, listen, this is my theory, and I kind of explained it a bit, but I'll give it to you again, and you can poo-poo it or not, is that they are hunting for a specific child, the others, and that's why they're really interested in taking the kids, because I get the idea that a promised one, a sort of messiah, is expected by the others. That's why they took the French woman's kid, Alex, who we've heard nothing of. They take the kids from the plane. They try to get the baby, and they've grabbed Walt. Is that they're after a specific child, and I would guess that Walt is that child in the fact that he's displayed some kind of psychic powers.
No, I do like that. I like that theory, Ian.
But if Walt's that child and they've already got Walt, then why are they still getting other kids?
Yeah, do you think they're trying to sort of breed some kind of super race or something?
When if you look at the days that pass, they get Walt pretty much the day after they get the other kids on the island. So maybe they collect all the kids at the same time.
They get Walt right at the end, don't they?
Yeah,
They take the other kids right then.
That's true.
It is tough trying to get the chronology right. Then,
yeah, definitely.
When it all interlinks. Okay, well, listen, that's my theory. Next week, maybe I'll expand on it, or I'll apologise for talking a load of rubbish. Now, next week's episode 8, what's going to happen? Well, here's a sneaky audio preview. In the clip we're about to hear, Ana Lucia, Bernard and Libby are holding Saeed captive, but it appears that the group are losing their faith in their leader, Ana Lucia.
What are we doing here, Ana? Their camp has got to be close.
We just want to know what you're doing. What's the plan?
She has no plan. She only has her guilt and the gun.
And you can see that episode on Channel 4 Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, and then the very next episode straight afterwards on E4. Thanks very much to Nikki.
Thank you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Tom.
Thanks for having me, Dean.
Well done. Well done for not punching anyone. And Janine, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And next week on UK Lost, we'll have more of your Ultimate Lost theories and everything that episode 8 has to offer. You can visit the Channel 4 Lost forum for the very latest discussions and theories. That's at channel4.com/lost. You can email us here at uklost@channel4.com. This is UK Lost on Channel 4 Radio. I'm Ian Lee. Join us next week down the hatch, and remember, the button is bad.
You've been listening to a download from Channel 4. To find more downloads like this, go to channel4radio.com.